When I had gotten to the point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, I had spent years going in and out of the doctors only for them to tell me, we can't find anything wrong with you. I had colonoscopies, endoscopies, ultrasounds, x-rays, scans, CAT scans, MRIs. I had 5 stool samples done in 1 year and they all came back fine. Can't find anything wrong, no parasites, nothing. So imagine my surprise when I took the power back into my own hands and I started cleansing my body, the amount of parasites that I've passed. For the first 11 months, I passed parasites every single day in my stools. But how could this be? Every sample I had taken, every test I had had, inconclusive, couldn't find anything. So that led me to believe a couple of things. No one really cared about getting to the root cause of why I was so ill my whole life. And 2, some of these tests are pretty bogus and not very accurate. So I also realized during this time, as I was trying to detox my body, there was really nothing out there that gave me the step-by-step instructions that would tell me, hey, how do I appropriately cleanse my body? And because there was nothing out there, I did not follow the proper steps in cleansing my body, and I kind of caused a little damage at first because I didn't do it right. I got super ill, super ill. Some days I couldn't even leave the bed just because the detoxing from my brain was so intense. So as I was going through school and I'm detoxing and I'm learning all of these things about functional medicine and root cause, and you really get to the basics of it, I really feel like the Lord just kind of opened my eyes to this whole wheel of how the body is supposed to work and how we've been taught anything but. I mean, stop and think about it for a second. We have lung doctors, kidney doctors, colon doctors, heart doctors, but the reality, it's all one system and it all flows together. So let's just take a minute and talk about dis-ease and illness and where it comes from and how our bodies get to this point. So as my demonstrator, we're going to use Mr. Benji Boy here today. So when we're born, we come out, we're all cute, healthy, everything's good to go, everything's working good. I mean, obviously from the moment you are conceived, genetics matter, but right now we're talking about the moment you're born, you come out, and then we're just moving through life. It might be kind of crazy to think about this, but whether you were breastfed or born via cesarean or vaginally, it matters. Of course, breast milk has colostrum and it has all those antibodies that can help boost a child's immune system. So even being bottle fed over breastfed does matter because of the nutrients that you get when you were born. The same applies to whether you were born vaginally or via cesarean. When we are born vaginally, there's actually good bacterias that our body needs as infants to go in and help form and create our digestive lining. So being born via cesarean, you're already susceptible to a weaker digestive/immune system. It even matters the kind of water we have in our home. Were you raised in a city where you were always exposed to town water that always had fluoride, chlorine, and who knows what other chemicals inside? Or were you raised out in the country with well water where you were exposed to more minerals and no harmful chemicals in your water? Were you on a lot of medications growing up? Were you sick as a child? All of these little factors start to come in. Did your parents eat good, wholesome food, or were you raised on TV dinners and processed foods and sugars? So you see, as we start growing and we start compiling all of these unnatural things into our body that we are not made of, it starts to close these pathways in our body. And by close the pathways, I mean the colon starts to shut down, the digestive system gets sluggish, your kidneys aren't filtering appropriately because maybe you don't ever drink water. Maybe all you do is drink sodas and teas. Maybe you eat really greasy foods and you just love going out to eat and you're just exposing yourself to all of these genetically modified foods. So disease is not a respecter of any persons, and what it does is it's going to pick the weakest link in your body. So for me, it might be my colon, but for you, it might be your kidneys. So as time goes on and you're just filling it up, over time, all of these pathways throughout the body start getting blocked. And before you know it, you've got high cholesterol because your liver is so backed up and so toxic from all of this processed junk and chemicals that it can no longer filter appropriately. And all of a sudden your blood pressure is high because your arteries are just thick and sluggish because all of this backup toxins is getting filled up and your arteries are becoming narrower and narrower. So usually at this point, when the pathways are blocked, this is when you go to your doctor and you're like, man, I'm not feeling really good. They might do some blood work and they say, oh, your cholesterol is high. Here's a statin. Oh, your thyroid's a little sluggish. Here's a thyroid medication. And then you'll spend the next 10, 20, 30, maybe the rest of your life on these medications when all you had to do was take 1 to 2 to maybe 3 months to just unload all of these toxins from your body. Where people go wrong in cleansing their body is they hear all of these things on TikTok, social media about, oh, I need to parasite cleanse, I need to heavy metal cleanse. Well, they go ahead and do that, but they end up causing more damage or they feel absolutely awful. And that's because the pathways in their body are not open. So if you're at this point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and you are ready to just like, I've got to do something, don't worry, I have made this super simple for all of you. The first part to restoring your body from all of this dis-ease and illness going on and backing up into your system is called the Open Pathways Kit. How long do you stay at this phase? Most people, if you're generally healthy and you're just ready to start the cleansing process, only need 1 to 2 months at this kit. Now, if you're someone who has been ill for a very long time, you might be looking at 2 to 3 months on this kit. But inside it comes with a 36-page instructional booklet that walks you through the entire cleansing process. Now, all of our kits are 5 weeks, unless otherwise specified on the website, which is we have a 3-month and we also have a 1-year total complete cleanse. Your first week of the cleanse is always the 7-day colon cleanse. It is essential that that bad boy is open and moving and flowing because that is our detoxification route. That is the route in which our waste is coming out that we're trying to get out of the body. And then after you do your 7 days on the colon cleanse, you have 30 days of your capsules, which is 1 month. And I'm telling you, if you follow this process, just read these reviews. It helps it all, from autoimmune to the big C word, to doctors saying, there's nothing I can do for you anymore. If you trust the process, you can restore your body. You just have to make the decision that you are sick and tired of being sick and tired and you're ready to take it back into your own hands. And then once you get the pathways opened in the body, and you're gonna go on to step 2, which is the heavy metal cleanse. Now you're probably thinking, how in the world would I go after that, or why? I don't eat heavy metals. But the reality is, it's in the air we breathe, the food we eat, the medications we take, the products that we use. And these heavy metals go in and they coat our cells. And when they coat our cells, it doesn't matter what nutrients we throw in it, it's not going to reach the cell. So when you go in and you remove these heavy metals, then the cell is finally exposed. And that's where all of those microscopic parasites and all of that real illness and dis-ease is happening inside the cell. So now that we have the pathways open, we have the metals gone, we can go in with the real goodness and then throw it into those cells so they can purge and get rid of the rest of that toxins and debris and parasites, and your body can restore. And since your pathways are open and the heavy metals are gone, when you go to detox that parasite candida mold stage, you're talking way less die-off symptoms, way less time off or time down, and you feel a lot better following this protocol, the open pathways, heavy metals, than parasites, because you're eliminating these toxins from your body in the route in which they were created to come out. Like if you try to back your car out of the garage door with it closed, it doesn't make no sense. You can't get out. But if you open that garage door, open your pathways, then you can start backing out easy and clearly because you don't have any disruption in the way. You can also go to the website and click on Start Here. We break this all down for you. You can always message us if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns. So don't buy the lie. You can, if you give your body the right environment, you can restore your health.